Cryptocurrency might be seen as one of the most confusing sectors of tech right now. The average investor sits at home watching CNBC might see the ever so volatile charts of Bitcoin or Ethereum and be intrigued with the sudden immense gains. Some of the more practical investors just laugh off the hype as another bubble, but this, of course, is most prevalent amongst those who experienced the dot-com bubble. Currently, Bitcoin is largely seen as too risky for any sane person to invest in, and Ethereum faded back into obscurity to all but the most fervent crypto investors. A new player entered the field backed by a plethora of the world's biggest companies, spearheaded by Facebook. Libra. Libra has potential to bring cryptocurrency to the forefront, but only time will tell. Is there any real validity to a currency backed by nothing, held up solely by the utility cost of mining one? What does the future of cryptocurrency look like? What even is cryptocurrency? What is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency at its core boils down to a bunch of numbers. Cryptocurrency is a financial currency centered online leveraged by blockchain technology. The biggest selling point for cryptocurrency is that there is no centralized authority controlling the currency, which is simultaneously its biggest hindrance. How does it work? Cryptocurrency is based around blockchain. Blockchain is one of the most confusing aspects about the topic. Bitcoin was first to the market, setting up a system in which two people, the sender and the receiver of coins, must sign off on payments to create a digital signature. Each person has a public and private encryption key, which makes this possible. Every transaction is verified for accuracy, and the system is anonymous and totally transparent. At the center of the infrastructure is a ledger. The ledger is public and shows every transaction that occurs. This prevents a handful of possible issues with a decentralized currency. All transactions must be verified by the miners who use their systems to solve complex mathematical problems. After the verification process, the transactions are added to the blockchain. Anyone can buy or sell bitcoins or similar altcoin, making it open source.
Cryptocurrency doesn't get used too often in day to day life, often because of how volatile the variations of the currency has become. The current value of Bitcoin is hovering around 8.2K. Less than a week ago, Bitcoin was in the 8.7K range. Less than a month ago, Bitcoin was over 10K. For this and several other reasons, cryptocurrency has become the primary currency for the dark web activities and shady dealings. The greatest boon to underground criminals is the fact cryptocurrencies are untraceable because of their nature. In the future, if cryptos can become more standardized while maintaining their core identity, there's a chance we could be paying with virtual coin in our everyday life.
What are the most important issues about it? All financial currencies across the world have some sort of backing. Originally, most currencies were backed by some physical commodity, most commonly gold. Nowadays, financial currencies are often fiat money, fiat being Latin for it shall be done. This currency has no commodity backing it, but instead has value set and regulated by the government. Because cryptocurrency has no physical commodity or government backing it, it's hard to be taken seriously by most people. A huge issue with cryptocurrency stems from how it is obtained. Mining. Mining is the process of running computations on your own processing power from your machine to verify transactions. This in turn creates new bitcoins which are given to the miners. This process is extremely expensive and often requires very powerful machines to work efficiently. Some set up farms of machines to mine cryptocurrencies. The most glaring issue with this is where the power from this comes from. GPUs, also known as graphics processing units, often have the computational power that crypto miners seek. So they are consistently buying exorbitant amounts of GPUs, leading to shortages and massive price hikes to quench the insatiable market. The issue is most prevalent when crypto prices are on the rise and the cost of entry is low. This craze was demonstrated back in 2017 till early 2018. GPU prices skyrocketed. The original MSRP of a NVIDIA GTX 1080 was $600. But during the craze, prices soared to points around $1,000, this most commonly hovering around $800. This essentially destroyed the consumer market and forced mass potential buyers to seek buying lower end cards or skip upgrading their cards altogether. When crypto crashed, a big sector of the stock market felt it. PC parts were being dumped from miners trying to unload their borderline useless hardware. This flooded the market with an immense amount of GPUs being listed as barely used, which is far from the case of how strenuous mining software is on the system. The original craze in 2017, it seemed every new company was being advertised as blockchain. When the mass exodus of the market occurred, these companies suffered greatly on Wall Street.
In 2009, the first decentralized cryptocurrency was found, Bitcoin. Bitcoin was developed by the anonymous Satoshi Nakamoto. In 2010, Bitcoin was first valued. Someone decided to sell their Bitcoin for the first time, trading 10,000 for two pizzas. At one point, that amount of Bitcoin would have been valued at around 100 million USD. Before this point, back in the 80s and the 90s, there were talks about how to make a cryptographic based currency, with papers published by the NSA. In the latter half of 2011, more variations of cryptocurrencies, often referred to as altcoins, were conceived. The first ones being Namecoin and Litecoin.
The future of cryptos are just as unpredictable as the actual thing. While a few days ago it seemed Facebook might press forward with their ever-increasing goal of world domination with Libra, on October 11th, a plethora of companies backing the company, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, Stripe, eBay, and Mercado Pago, all dropped out in one swoop. This appears to be the case if anything goes awry, those companies don't want to be held accountable. Facebook is still set to meet on October 14th in Geneva with the founding members to hash out a plan. Right now, the idea of a decentralized worldwide currency is great for third world countries and countries facing exorbitant amounts of inflation. A proper cryptocurrency has the potential to save those countries. I find it hard to see a cryptocurrency could take place of a physical government backed money in countries like the US or primary countries in the EU. Blockchain, on the other hand, has widespread potential, and it's just up to time to decide what ends up being. The idea of a decentralized self-regulating list of records, which is almost impossible to be hacked, would seem to have a lot of use. I hope with this that you have a little bit more of an understanding of how cryptocurrency and blockchain works in the world and what is the future potential of it.